Hello friends, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis, where I am journeying through my 40s, working oh so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today we are going to be doing a financial health check-in video. We are going to be setting up my October of 2025 budget, and I am doing that using the Budget by Paycheck book by the Budget Mom. I have the small size budget book from her this year, and then I also buy stickers from Life in Envelopes, and then these are from Lexington Flair, these little cute things here. So that's also an Etsy shop. Those are both Etsy shops, and I will link them both below for you. At the end of this video, I'm going to do a quick run through of the new Budget by Paycheck book that she just put out. There wasn't really enough of a change. There wasn't really enough of a change to do an entire video on that, but I do want to mention just the handful of changes. There's really just one main change that I want to talk about and then show it off because it's really pretty. Okay, so the way I do this, if you are new, welcome. Super excited that you are here checking out this channel. I hope that you find it enjoyable or maybe entertaining, learn something. I don't know. If you are new to your budgeting journey and looking for some categories maybe you want to set up, or if you are way into your budgeting journey and just enjoy watching other people. That is me. I do that. I like to watch other people budget. I get so many ideas. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate you more than I can ever tell you. The way I do my budget videos is I always start on the calendar page, just so we can go take an overview of what my month looks like. So, October, I actually have travel plans, which I don't normally have, but I have a couple coming up this month and then at the end of the year as well, so I'm very excited. So I do have a doctor's appointment today. Today is the 30th of September. I'm going to my doctor in, about an hour. I have to be there. So hopefully I can get this recorded before then. I am going to be going to Boston on the 10th. I'm going to the Cape for a couple of days and then to Boston. So I'm very excited for that. I'm from the Northeast. If you are not familiar with me, I grew up in New Jersey. We spent a lot of time traveling up to Massachusetts to visit family. My 8th grade class trip was to Boston. I spent a lot of time up there, so I'm very excited to go back at fall time and see colors. I'm going with some friends to watch the new Tron movie on Thursday evening, and then and I'm not leaving for my airplane. My plane doesn't leave until 12:30 or something, so I should still have time to film my YNAB budget video. If you are new, I am a digital cash stuffer, and so every Friday my budgeting videos, I record them and I use an app called YNAB to do that. I come home from Boston on the 14th. I do have to work on the 15th, so I didn't take any extra days off because I'm saving them all for my cruise in January. My nephew, my baby Joe, he turns 3 on Halloween. This is also Halloween, so that's what that day is. I have 2 paychecks in October, the 10th and the 24th. The 25th, we have a little Halloween party at my bestie's house. And then the 1st of November, which isn't on this month, but is when we're celebrating both Joe and his brother Jet, because Jet's birthday is the next week. So we just celebrate them together. We're going to do a party for them on the 1st of November. So this is what my October looks like at a glance. I just thought this was a super cute little sticker, so I stuck it on here. Look at how cute it is. That came as a freebie. I ordered these payday stickers from Lexington Flair, and then she sent me a freebie pack. It had these Halloween ones in there. I had actually ordered this doctor appointment from her a while ago, a long time ago, and these happy birthdays are from Life in Envelopes. Like I said, I'll link both of those shops below. I do have just a couple of goals for this month. Let me see if I can zoom you in. Nope, that is as zoomed in as we get. Well, I'll try to zoom in editing if I can. But I want to pay off my cruise. Like I said, my cruise is in January, but I have to pay it off this month. And then I did already pay it off to Princess, to the cruise line, but I need to pay the card that I put it on. So that will be this month. And then I would love to lose 5 pounds. As I mentioned, I am on a health journey as well. And I did start tirzepatide just a couple of weeks ago. So it's part of the reason I'm going to my doctor today. It's also just time to follow up with my doctor. But those are my 2 goals for the month of October. We'll see. If you've been following my health journey, you will know that I've been gaining weight since I started tirzepatide, which is really unusual, and I wasn't expecting it. But we'll see how I do. Sorry. If you are not following my health journey, you should. I have vlogs that I do every week, and I post them on Sunday afternoons. I tried to post this one on Sunday morning, but it just did not finish uploading before I had to leave for church. So I'll link my last week's vlog as well. Okay, that is my month at a glance for October. I am going to pause, get us started on week 1, and I will be right back. Okay, here we go with October week 1. So, in case you are new, again, or just as a refresher, I have all of my budgets go from a Friday through a Thursday. Every Thursday evening, I go into YNAB, I reconcile all of my accounts, I pay off all of my cards that are interest-bearing, and then I start the next week. So, I am rolling over $400 from my September budget because I don't have a paycheck this first week of October. So you can see obviously that this started on the 3rd, that starts on the 3rd because I did a 5-week month in September and October is only going to be a 4-week month. So my budget actually starts on the 3rd, which again is a Friday. Rolling over that $400 because even though I am a weekly budgeter, I am only paid bi-weekly, so I have to roll money over from week to week. I have AFLAC, which is my only bill that is due. It is $37.57. This is for supplemental health insurance. This is my cancer policy. I will actually, after I go to the doctor today, submit a claim and get some cash back because I have a wellness rider on that one. So I will, once a year when I go to the doctor and do any cancer screenings, I get different cash backs. I get cash back one amount if I do a cancer screening and a different amount just for a doctor's visit. So we'll see how that goes. I'll put that in probably today or tomorrow. So that's $37.57. That is the only bill that I have due. So that is a bill total of $37.57, leaving me $362.43 to come down to my variable expenses. So if you only watch my monthly budget setups and you don't watch my YNAB videos, then you may not know that I have decided to lower my grocery cost from $125 a week to $100 a week. It's an experiment. I failed it this week, but we'll see how I do. But I will have these 5 expenses every week, 99% of the time. Sometimes the ecclesial expense gets moved around if I am going to be out of town, like next week, the next week after this. But let's just go. So $50 to dining out every week, $100 to groceries every week, $25 to fun, $25 to coffee, and $80 to ecclesial expenses. Ecclesial expenses are my church donation. 60 of this is for the actual donation that goes in the bag, and 20 for a meal if we go out together afterwards. If we don't go out for that meal afterwards, I roll that $20 back into my budget. That is a variable expense total of $280, leaving me $82.43 to roll into week 2. That was a super, super easy one. Let's see if we can do week 2 now. Week 2, again, goes from a Friday through a Thursday. So the 10th, this is the day I'm going to Boston, through the 16th, I'll have been home for 2 days at this point. So that is how week 2 is going to be. I'm rolling over that $82.43, and then I should have a paycheck, $2,368.19, for an inflow total of $2,450.62. This right here is the reason that I am grazing $25 off the top of every week of my groceries. I have decided to keep my Wild Grain subscription. This is a subscription box for baked items. And again, if you are new or not familiar with me, I have celiac disease. I have been on the hunt for good bagels and good bread for 3 years now. It's 3 years in September since I was diagnosed with celiac. Y'all, I found them, and they're here, and they're not cheap, but they are so good, and so I decided to try to make it work. I got a discount off the first month. That's going to be $109 going forward for the gluten-free box. If you are not gluten-free, I believe it's only $99, so it's an extra $10 for gluten-free box. But 6 items, free cookies for life because I signed up when they were doing that.
promotion. I don't know if they still are or not, but I will link Wild Grain below if you want to check it out, if you want to sign up. I do have a $20 off coupon if you want to use that, if you do decide you want to try it off. So at least you can get 1 month for, if you're not gluten-free, it'll only be like $79. So that's six items in your bag, in your box. So, and you can pick them. And then OneDrive is my extra storage and my Microsoft OneDrive subscription. So, and my Microsoft Office. So that is a bill total of $119.81, leaving me $2,330.81 to come down to my variable expenses. You will see those same 5 plus 2 more. So I'm not going to go over the same 5 every week, except for this week, because you will see that ecclesial expenses is not here. The reason I'm going to Massachusetts is there's a church, oh my goodness, I'm going to keep kicking this. There's a church retreat that weekend. And so I have to pay for the donation, and that's going to come out of my vacation. I've been budgeting for that. So I don't have a church donation this week. But I do have my regular dining out, groceries, coffee, and fun money, which I said backwards. And then every paycheck, I give myself $50 toward self-care and $25 toward gas. If you do watch my vlogs, I know last week, the one that I posted on Sunday, I was saying that I was going to have to cover, my gas was going to go over. It was only over by $3. So I did cover it, but like it wasn't a big deal. So, and that was from almost completely empty to full with a high gas price. I paid $28. So it really wasn't bad. High for me. Now, it was $2.74, I think, which is high for around here. I'm in Central Texas, but I know that that is very low for some people, so I'm going to be thankful for what I have. That is a variable expense total of $275, leaving me $2,055.81. I just want to show y'all. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see. Here's where I had I had my car payment and my YouTube premium payment here. And then I also did them on the next page because they're actually due out of the next week, not this week. They're both on the 17th. And I did them twice, and I made myself panicky because, like I said at the beginning, I have to pay off my cruise this month. And I was like, I don't have enough money. What am I going to do? Yeah, it's because I was like more than $500. I paid these 2 bills twice. My mom and myself, I cover both of our car insurances. I pay them 3 months at a time because that's how far ahead I could get. It still saves me the monthly charge of having to like pay it every month. Get a slight discount for it. So I am on Geico and my mom is on Progressive. I was on Progressive until very recently, but I just switched over to Geico because they offered me a better rate. So it changed. My mom's been on Progressive forever and ever. I'm like more than 20 years, probably more than 40 years. Like she's just always had Progressive. So she's not changing. So that is a savings goal of $200, leaving me $1,855.81. And then my savings here for the beginning of the month, as I mentioned, I have 2 nephews. Oh, these are my great nephews. These are my nephew's children, Joe and Jet. Joe is 2 years old and Jet is 1 year old. Then they have a little sister named Ellie. She is 7 months old. I save their ages every week. And since I'm paid bi-weekly, I save twice their age every paycheck. So I save $4 a week for baby Joe, $2 a week for a paycheck. $4 a paycheck for baby Joe, $2 a paycheck for baby Jet, $2 a paycheck for sweet Ellie. And then I am putting $113 into my emergency fund because that I'm going to try to get to $2,000 by the end of the year. That is my goal. That is a savings total of $121, leaving me $1,734.81 to roll into week 2. Y'all, I know that I am being really like all over the place because I'm tired. I haven't had coffee yet because I've got to go get labs, so I'm fasting and I can't have anything. I did just go to the gym. It's only 7:08. I want to go back to bed, but I can't. But that's okay. So if I'm rambly, I'm sorry. I'm always rambly, but like I'm a little less like cohesive today. Week 3 for me goes from the 17th of October through the 23rd of October. The only income I am anticipating is that rollover of $1,734.81. And then here is where I have most of my bills. So here again, you see YouTube Premium and my Kia Soul payment. These are the ones I had duplicated. $24.89 for YouTube Premium, $485.25 for my Kia Soul. Planet Fitness is my gym. That is $27.11. Music licensing, I pay to have access to the music library on my editing software so that I can put music mostly in my vlogs. I mean, I have it for any video, but I mostly use it for my vlogs. Mattress Firm, I have 3 mattresses financed, one for myself, one for my mother, one for my nephew. So I make $200 a month payment. That is no interest, and that is much higher than the minimum payment, but that's what I have it set up to auto draft. Favor is a delivery service here in Central Texas. It is owned by H-E-B, which is a major grocery brand. And they give me, I pay $9.99 a month, and then I get a $10 off my groceries coupon every month. So it basically pays for itself. And then I can use it to order in groceries or restaurants or whatever I need. It's kind of like an Uber One or a DoorDash, but it's Favor. And they pay me back. And then my internet bill, it was so cheap last month, but I don't think that was right. I don't know what my exact actual monthly bill is going to be going forward. So it used to be $80, and then I'm supposed to be getting $10 off for using. It was $80 because I was getting $5 off, or maybe it was $85. Maybe this should be $80. I don't know what my bill is going to be. I'm budgeting $75 for my internet. We'll see. This column over here is where you fill in your actual, like, let me show you an example from, this is my September budget. So here, this is what I budgeted, this is what I spent. And this is the same week. Wow. So wild grain, I covered that myself. I didn't budget that. So here's like, you know, what I thought I was going to budget, what I did budget. And for the most part, I am right on track. I just stick with it. So, anyway, those are my bills. So that is $830.41, leaving me $904.40 to come down to variable expenses. Those are just the normal 5, dining out, groceries, fun, coffee, and ecclesial, for a total of $280, and that leaves me $624.40 to roll into week 4. Before we go to week 4, I want to talk about my car payment. So my car is just a year old. I bought him just about a year ago. It was the September 2nd, I think is what it said. So I got an offer from my local credit union, which is the bank that I use, and then also from Capital One, to refinance. So I submitted refinance applications to both of them. My bank was actually higher, even though it's a credit union. I don't know why it was so much higher, but my bank came back with a higher rate. It was about the same car payment, but it was a higher interest rate. And I was like, no, thank you, I'm good. But Capital One came back with a whole point lower. So currently my interest rate is 6.5. Capital One is 5.5. Same loan term. So, and it's going to save me about $50 a month. So I went ahead and accepted that and signed the paperwork yesterday. I am not sure if this will still come out or if it will be paid off before the 17th. I'm just going to leave it here in case they do pay it off. If they pay it off before the 17th, this will come back to me. If I pay this and then it comes back to me. Hang on, what am I trying to say? Sorry, did I mention I haven't had coffee yet? If I end up having to pay this, because the payoff amount includes this total, that like the payoff amount that they gave to the new bank, this will come back to me as a refund eventually. I don't know when, but it would. So, but I'm still going to leave it budgeted. If I don't have to pay it this month, because going forward my bills are going to be due on the 21st, but if I don't have to, like, if they get everything done before the 17th, I won't have a car payment in October, which would be fantastic, because it said it's going to be on the 21st of every month. No, the 20th of every month. I don't remember the date, but it's only after 21 days after I sign my paperwork, which is after that date. So, or it's the 15th of every month. Hi, tired. The 15th of every month, but only after the first 21 days. So I have 21 days, and that's after the 15th. So my first actual Capital One payment won't be due until November. But because I'm leaving this here, I'm just going to leave this here. Basically, that was my way of saying this car payment is going to go down. I'm going to leave it here. I may or may not need it. Oh my goodness, Becky. Why do you have to use 80 words when 10 will suffice? Sorry about that, y'all. And then my last week of October, this is week 4, goes from 10/24 through 10/30. I am rolling over $624.40 from week 3. Sorry, this is all at a funny angle. And then Paycheck, again, $2,368.19 for an inflow total of $2,992.59. I have 4 bills. My Cinemark, which is a movie subscription, that is $6.48. Utilities, $120. It's normally closer to like $110, but I always over budget just in case. My Citi is one of my interest-free cards. I'm paying $50 a month to get that paid off. And then my rent, I budget $600. It is normally right around $600. So my actual rent is $500, and then Nathan, my landlord/roommate, he pays some of the bills. I pay some of the bills. We put it all into an app called Splitwise, and it tells me what I owe him. And I normally owe him right around $600. That is a bill total of $776.48, leaving me $2,216.11 to come down to my variable expenses, where I have those same 5: dining out for $50, groceries for $100, fun for $25, coffee for $25, and ecclesial for $80. And then my Paycheck balances that I give myself, $50 toward my self-care and $25 toward gas. That is a variable expense total of $355, leaving me $1,861.11 to move over. I am going to put $522.11 toward my cruise. That will pay me off. That leaves, I think that I might have to cover a little bit. That's really close to what my payoff balance is, maybe within a couple of dollars. But that leaves me $1,339 to come down to my nibblings savings. Baby Joe will be turning on the 31st 3 years old. 3 years old, yes. Oh my goodness, I forgot how old he is. He will be turning 3. So the first week, this week here, the 24th through the 30th, I'm only going to save $2 for him because he will be 2. But the next week he will be 3. So that's why this is $5. And then going forward, it will be $6 every paycheck for Baby Joe. Baby Jet is 2, but in the first week of November, he will turn 3. So when I do that one, you'll see that will have another weird number here. Oh my goodness, Becky. Oh my goodness, y'all. I promise. I am a professional. I do this. Sweet Ellie is still 7 months old, so she'll be 8 months old. Still saving $1 for her. So that is a savings total of $9, leaving me $1,330 to roll into week 1 of November. Now, I did do pre-plan week 1 of November just to make sure I would have enough money, and this is what I needed to roll over, so that's where I got this balance from, this $522.11 that I could roll. Like I said, I do over budget for things like utilities and rent. I may not use all of my grocery money, though I probably will because I cut down what I am budgeting. I normally have about $80 based on what I have historically seen. I normally have about $80 left at the end of the month for my groceries, and I've cut $100 off of this. So I don't think I will have any extra groceries, but maybe I will because I'm going out of town. So we'll see. Anyway, that's my October budget, y'all. That's all I've got. So, sorry I was so, kind of scatterbrained today, but if you're not new, you know I'm kind of always scatterbrained and talking a lot. But I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you will give me a thumbs up. I hope that you have a fantastic October. Give me a second. Actually, I'm going to go grab the other book because I forgot I told you I was going to show you the Budget Mom's new book. Hang on. Okay, this is the new Budget by Paycheck book that I ordered, that I got in a little while ago, that I was going to do a quick flip through of. So, first of all, I love this cover. I love it. It's perfect messaging. And I love the feel of the cover, and it is interchangeable. So I did also buy a holiday one. Well, it's just a winter one. But isn't that cute? I love that. So I'm going to put that on both of these, because both of these, the current year looks like this. Yeah, it's hard for me to do it because I have it all. So this is the current year. I can't close it at all, because I never do. But this is also interchangeable. But yeah, here is the new one, and I just want to say the major difference that I have noticed this year is the paper quality. I feel like the paper quality is not nearly as good. It is still good, but like you can see through this. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but I can see through this paper. And this paper in the old book, you can't see through. So just in case you are looking at getting a new budget workbook, I do like this paper. I mean, I do like this book still, but the paper is not as good quality. This is, I think, the last year she is going to be making these books. So, I'm going to start printing it. I do have digital copies of this version, of last year's version, and of the one that was previous. So, we'll see. So she has a financial plan worksheet on here. Membership and subscription reminders, so you can list them all out for yourself. Savings goals, these are the same on both pages. You can fill these in as you go. I did not do that this year. I wish I had, but I hadn't. Yearly spending, let me move this out of my way so I can move this over. Yearly spending, this is to track. So if I were solely doing paper budgeting with cash, I would probably use this a lot more. But because I do everything digitally, all of this is tracked for me on YNAB. Budget categories, this I will show you how I set up last year so you can see what this category is. And by last year, I mean this year. It's still this year. So here are my budget categories. So I have home. Everything in these categories go under my home category. Giving, these are my giving categories. I have a fun overhead category. Everything in these, if I spend from these categories, it goes under fun. Subscriptions, mom's bills, previously budgeted. So these are like my sinking funds. Debt, medical, and saved or rolled over. So when you're doing your budget by paycheck book, you're supposed to keep track of how much money you spend in each parent category. So that's what this is for. And you can assign each one a highlighter color and go over it in retrospect. Bill tracker, this is just so you can keep track of when you've paid your bills, when they are due, and if you've paid them for the month. And then notes. I bent this a little bit by leaving it standing up for too long, so I need to get on this. So then she has 12 months, and you could start this whenever you want. They are undated. They do come with stickers, so you can put dates on them, but they are undated, so you could start at any time. Each month is going to begin with a little inspirational message, and then you're going to have a calendar page like the one we just did. I mean, y'all just saw mine. It's the same. It is the same this year. So I covered this with stickers, but there are 3 different sections here. Your budget by paycheck tracker, which we just looked at how I used that. This is for debt, this bottom one, but I don't track, I just use it for extra savings. Then the cash breakdown, this is if you are a cash budgeter. This is where you would write down how much you need for each category. In the cash denominations, I need $6 $1 bills, $25 bills, $10 bills, 5 20s, a 50, and a 100. However you're going to do it. And then you can go to the bank and tell them how much actual cash you need. Again, I am not a cash stuffer, cash budgeter, so I don't use this section. There are 5 of these in each month. Those are all going to be the same. Then you have an expense tracker. I think you get 6 of these so you can keep track of all of your transactions. Again, as somebody who does it digitally, my transactions are all tracked in YNAB. But this is here. I used to do both, but then it got to be too much. So 6 of those. And then here is the monthly closeout. This I should use, but I don't. So debt payment plan, how much you want to pay each debtor, if you make any extra debt payments, and then how much you've made towards your progress. If you have debt, this is what it started out last month. This is what it is at this month. This is how much progress I made this month. And then this is how much my percentage is. And then you do the same thing from the start. So if you started with a $10,000 balance, even though your monthly start was only $3,000, you're still going to take your total debt at $10,000. And then you can see how much you've done overall. I like these pages. This is a net worth tracker. That is all tracked for me on the app that I use. A monthly budget category breakdown. So this, if you take that set of boxes that we looked at where I broke down everything, what each category was, this is where you would track what you spent in each of those categories to see what you budgeted versus what you spent, and then the difference and the percentage of how much of your total money that you spent on that category. You get a meal plan page, which this is so small, I don't know, I couldn't use it. I tried a couple of times, but it's too small. And then a page for notes. And then this repeats 12 times. It's just the same thing. Here's the next month with another inspirational quote. And then at the very end, this is so hard. Hi, boys just got home from their walk. So Charlie's over here being curious. Here are the stickers. These are the date dots, so you can put dates on your month. They each have 31. There's 12 months of 31. Some little dollar signs for payday, hearts, llamas, calculator. This is the page with the month here, so you could take these off and put them on your month. Again, I can show you in the current one what I do. They're all on here, so that's what they look like when you put them on. And then another page of just stickers, holidays, remember to do stuff, little inspirational quotes. So that is what the new Budget by Paycheck book looks like. Again, it is almost identical to last year's, other than it has a new cover. I think there were 2 covers to choose from. I can't remember what the other one looked like. I chose this one. And the paper quality, I feel like, has lessened a little bit. And then I have this replacement cover to cover it with. And then my October budget. So thank y'all again for sticking with me and for hanging out with me for this last, however long we were doing this. I don't know, 30 minutes. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.